Okay, so this is my topic. So I'm not going to be there. I'm just walking around, if you don't mind. So this is the topic: how we're going to move forward using blockchain for global businesses. So this is me. I have over 15 years of experience in Asia. I help different advisory roles across different industries and for international and public listed companies. During my younger days, I was also part of a think tank, a non-profit think tank that talks about climate change, human rights, and so forth. And I'm a true believer in startup. I've since started a few healthcare-related companies, and I hope more to come maybe next year. So these are some statistics that you see. You can Google them online. You know, we talk about the counterfeiting problems. You know, in 2017, it's about 1.2 trillion US dollars, and then in 2020, it will be 1.82 trillion dollars that's been lost in this industry. So it's a big thing. Thousands of children are given fake vaccines in China. We have other problems like wine. In some 20% of the wine is fake. About 64% of pharmaceutical in Nigeria are also fake. So actually, the biggest problem is supply chain. You know, supply chain is the one that causes part of the problem, and we have to find a way to stop and change this. So it's a very typical small table that we have. You know, so supply chain typically starts from a factory to transportation to export and all the way to consumer. This is how we define the whole supply chain ecosystem. And within every part of this, there are problems. There are gaps that we can solve. So these are the 4 typical problems that we see in most of the supply chain scenario. Communications, you know, a lot of these supply chains vendors are still using manual paperwork and so forth. Communication is not as fast. A lot of this paperwork can't be traced. There are a lot of fake BLs, you know, there are a lot of documents that are even not digitized. Efficiency is very low. And then the reliability sometimes is because of the poor communication. The reliability is also relatively low. So these are, again, 3 things. So the flow of goods, flow of information, and flow of money, they are slow, inefficient, and it's not transparent. So this is where blockchain can go in and solve some of these problems. So what we want is to have a faster and leaner logistics in the global trade. We want automation, and then we also want better transparency and traceability. So out of these 3 circles, we will focus on the last one, which is more blockchain related, and blockchain can solve part of the problems as we go along. So this is Linfinity. This is a company. A startup is not as big as Amazon, definitely not Intel. We are just a very small company that's in Singapore. We have started since last year, and we provide a lot of different solutions for supply chain, mainly fusing together with existing technology like IoT, AI. We also talk to existing businesses on how we could help them using our technology. So this is a video. Should take about a while. So give you an overview of what we do.
According to the new report by the OECD and the EU's Intellectual Property Office, the global trade in fake goods is worth nearly $500 billion a year and growing. Companies are constantly facing the threat of counterfeiting, as it is not only affecting their revenue, but also reputational damages to their brand. Companies do not recover their research and development investments due to these losses, thus influencing their potential to create impactful products in the future. Counterfeiting produces knockoffs that endanger lives, pharmaceuticals that make people sick, toys that harm children, and medical instruments that deliver false readings. These put consumers at risk, and certain products can cause serious health risks or even be fatal. What will Linfinity do? First of all, we must understand that procurement, manufacturing, and logistics are the three core elements in supply chain management. Data as a bridge between the three cores. So the credibility, transparency, and security of data are the most important factors in improving the efficiency and reducing costs in supply chain. Linfinity blockchain technology creates a transparent, non-tampered, traceable, and anti-counterfeiting system. We solve total supply chain issues right from the start, from production to end consumer. The process is recorded, accounted, trusted, and transparent. Source tracking is only just the start. Our ultimate goal is to build a new sustainable supply chain ecosystem. That is what Linfinity is doing. Linfinity, links to unlimited possibilities.
So this is what we do. And if you look at this chart that you saw it a few minutes ago, I have added raw material and recycle because we felt that in order to trace and in order to counter fake goods, it's not only about just scanning, it's not just only about putting things on blockchain. You have to start tracking this right from the source using existing technology and then putting the trusted information on the chain. And at the same time, we also look at some very crazy idea of implementing recycle within our system as well. Because a lot of all these fake goods, example like Moutai wine in China, is more expensive to create the bottle, than creating the liquid, the fake liquid that's inside the bottle. So recycling is something that we think that is going to work, and we hope that we could get more active vendors to work together with us on that. That's just a vision. So there are two steps: authentication, track and trace. This is part of our business. We have launched our D app. We have been signing different MOUs, different brands since May this year. And the first D app is being announced last month. So this is again a very a journey of what we did with a Lingzi company, which is Ghana Doma, is a healthcare product. So we study their farm, we look at how they harvest, we look at how they export, import, and the different processes that are in place. And last but not least, we went into the wholesaling and the retail outlets of their brands to understand how this could better help their current ecosystem and solve various problems that she had. So this is a very typical source tracking, how the data is being uploaded onto the Linfinity chain, and then how the different transactions are being retrieved. So everything starts with a private key. You sign up, you get a private key, and you get the ownership of the product. Then you authenticate, scan the product. If it's real, not scanned before, you get your authentication. And of course, if it's fake, there's no record, it will be a fake goods. So this is our product. We have two simple solutions right now. Users who are using them right now in the current market won't feel too much of the difference. We have a one QR code solution and a two QR code solution to allow customer to check their products. And all these things are being hid under our label. There's a Linfinity mark at the right-hand corner of the screen right now. So the code will be inside. So this is the first product that we have. That is a Singapore healthcare product. Their Lingzi is a very rare patented Lingzi. It has a lot of good things. It's patented and so forth. And the production is not huge. The key is production is not huge, so that we could trial and we could try this out. So they came forward to us and said, hey, can we do something together? And then I can click. Okay, great. So this is the actual product. We have the QR code. We have the label on top. Information will be on the chain. And when consumer buy the product, they will see the information behind it. Two other brands is upcoming. Alisan, they are into cigarettes. They are from Taiwan. They produce cigarettes, and we are already in trial, but that trial is going to take a while because cigarettes are a bit more sensitive. We want to help them solve some of the issues that they have. Habrilla is a Japanese brand. That portion will be announced next month, or maybe next week. I have to ask my CMO. But the trial has already been done. So blockchain is not enough, really not enough. We felt that we need to have a combination of a few things. For example, IoT, we have to work with AI in order to create a new value for blockchain. This is very important because I heard a lot of speakers saying that blockchain is going to change the world, blockchain is going to help climate change in a way. Yes, I think they can, but I don't think they can just work alone, you know. They got to work with different technology that's in place. So this is how we collect the data. This is just a very quick summary of what we do. We let brands know their business, they know their sales performances through our system. We let them know the customer, their characteristics, their habits, their buying behavior. And we create a very efficient SCM model so that all this data from procurement all the way to digital payments and contracts are all in place. So we market this more like a service and not a technical tool, so it's very easy for customer to understand what we are trying to tell them. Is there a need to, I don't know whether there's this word blockchainize or something, but we felt that there's no need to do all these things, everything to be on blockchain. Part of the information should be on blockchain, and we can discuss this a bit further because I have a clock running, you know. I can't talk too long. And we felt that, you know, we want to produce solutions that are not complex, and we just plug into our existing infrastructure and things can get going. So these are just very phase one things. So these are some of the partnerships that we have with law firms, investment companies, traditional logistics company in Singapore and in the region, because we felt that if we have more partners, we could get things going a lot faster and a lot more efficient. So these are some of the brand owners that have signed MOUs with us for the last 6 months. These are some of the business partners again. We also have a lot of different possible exposure in the supply chain finance category. So we were with BNP Paribas, HSBC doing some of the events to discuss how we could look at the supply chain finance aspects. And we are fortunate to be in quite a number of media, from Forbes to this NASDAQ to Yahoo and so forth. So these are some of the articles that we have been featured, like a Singapore startup wants to change in the perspective of blockchain. We are also on the new paper featuring our D app. This is also a paper in Singapore. Singapore Business Times as well. We talk about fighting counterfeiting with blockchain. And then the Straits Times, again, the Singapore paper. We look at how we support supply chain with different solutions that combat fraud. So these are NASDAQ, Yahoo. I mean, we have a lot of different media going on, even in Korea as well. So we want to educate a lot of different people about what we can do. And we want to make more friends. And we are very happy to be here today. Thank you, everybody.